It is not impartial, it is not, I will say, fair exercise at all, and it is also not feasible logistically. Election Commission is a bureaucracy. Election Commission is the executive. We are governed by our legislature. Now the power of the legislature is being usurped by the executive. It is the interest of the ruling party, and all the BLOs are the government employees. Normally, because in these 10, 11 years, the government employees, usually earlier also, some of them used to be in favor of some party and or in favor of other party. But now they are religiously in favor. They have been changed into a religious icons rather than citizens of India. The Election Commission has a mandate only to do a summary revision.
Right.
Because this is not the new Election Commission. The voter list has been framed since time immemorial. There is another flaw, legal flaw if one wants to see.
Whatever you have explained, for the common man to understand, this intensive verification of the electoral rolls is illegal. It is not within the powers of the Election Commission to do it, but then also they are breaching that line.
Bilkul, exactly I say this. Exactly, I say this and say this with the responsibility, because unless until clause 19 of the People's Representation Act is amended.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Now, what's happening before Bihar elections? All of a sudden, Election Commission of India has thought of conducting an intensive electoral roll revision exercise, which is called SIR. And that has created a controversy because there is a feeling that there is a large chunk of voters which will be kept out of this exercise of voting. And what has the Election Commission said? Actually, I'm going to tell you. Now, the ECI order says that during the last 20 years, significant change in electoral roll has taken place due to additions and deletions on a large scale, and rapid urbanization and frequent migration of population from one place to another have become a regular trend. Electors who move often register themselves at another place without getting their names deleted from the electoral roll of the initial place of residence, which increases the chances of repeated entries in the rolls. And therefore, the order said that the situation warrants an intensive verification drive to verify each person before enrollment as an elector. Now, for that, you are required to furnish a certain set of documents, your date of birth, your passport, your place where you stay. So the opposition is asking that what about those people in Bihar who are not able to produce those documents? Are they going to be kept out of their exercising their franchise? That is question number one. And then how practical and feasible is it? Because the election dates will be announced in about 1.5 months. And is this 1 month or 1.5 month sufficient enough to carry out this humongous exercise? Have you ever imagined how practically illogical this exercise looks like? So we're going to talk about this intensive electoral roll revision, which is creating a lot of furor. A lot of opposition parties have already spoken about it, saying that this is a conspiracy against the voters. So joining me this evening is the renowned election data scientist, Dr. Pyare Lal Garg, who joins us this evening. Dr. Garg, thank you so much for joining on HW News. And the first question I would want to ask you, sir, is that what is the logic behind this intensive electoral roll revision exercise? And they're also saying that it's not limited to Bihar. They've extended it to other states which are going to polls in the next year, like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Assam, several other states. So, what is the logic? The logic which they have given, how practical is that?
No, it is not the logic. It is the, I will say, it is the deceit basically. It is the breach of the law. I will quote the law. Basically, the logic is that they want to help somebody. It is not a impartial, it is not I will say, fair exercise at all. And it is also not feasible logistically. So when we are in administration, it is an administrative job. Election commission job is nothing but an administration. I have been working in the administration. We see what is the law. One, two, are we implementing it as in letter and spirit we call it? Two, as it is. Then we see has it any basis that we should reinvent ourselves within that wording of the law? Third, is it logistically possible? Fourth, is it really useful for the real objective for which the law has been enacted, for which the provision has been made? On all these counts, when I say the ECI letter fails, now I will show you. This is the letter of the ECI. I am showing for our viewers. In this letter, this is the letter, thereafter it is the reason being given, why we are doing it. That is the as annexure A. That contains 3 pages. We call it a speaking order in our administrative parliament. Whereas, before each para we write down the whereas this is happening. That is why we are doing. Now, this says that we have been empowered to carry out this exercise under Rule 21 of the People's Representation Act 1950. And we are empowered to do this by Article 324 of the Constitution of India. Now, let us visit those 2 things. Let us see what are these. Here is the Constitution of India. Here is the Article 324 of the Constitution, which the ECI is claiming that it is sticking to it and doing it. Here is the article. Now I will read out as you have read it. Superintendent's direction and control of elections to be vested in an election commission. The superintendent's direction and control of the preparation of electoral rolls for and the conduct of all elections to parliament and to legislature of every state and of election to the offices of president, vice president, held under constitution shall be vested in the commission. This is vested in the commission. Now the commission has to carry out for this purpose. There is a provision that the government of India can make the laws, rules, acts and rules. Now there is an act. And this act came into existence immediately after constitution came into existence. After constitution was implemented on 26th of January 1950. So these are the rules. The act says People's Representation Act 1950. So I will go to clause 21.
No, but allow me to ask you, Dr. Garg, that does election commission have the powers to revise the electoral rolls like what it is doing? Does it have the powers to do it?
I am coming. You are shortcutting it. Let us not shortcut it. Otherwise, the election commission, they just make a statement. I will come to that point, specific point of yours. Okay. The law does not permit it. I will show you the law does not permit it. Whatever the election commission has said that we are doing under law, it is not permitted by law. I will show you.
Okay.
Now, when they say the section 21 of the act, this is the, I will show for our viewers, this is the People's Representation Act. I show you. People's Representation Act, I am showing now. This is the clause 21 or rule 21, whatever you call it. We call it clause 21. Right. Now I will read out the clause simply. The said electoral rolls shall be the preparation of and revision of the electoral rolls. The electoral rolls for each constituency shall be prepared in the prescribed manner. In the prescribed manner, not in by arbitrary manner. In the
Okay.
prescribed manner,
Hmm.
it is mandatory in the prescribed manner by the reference to the qualifying date and shall come into force immediately upon its final publication in accordance with the rules, not against the rules, in accordance with the rules. We have to see these two terms. One is in a prescribed manner. It will be mandate to the ECI. Two, in accordance with the rules. So the ECI cannot violate the prescribed manner. The ECI cannot violate the rules. It has to go in accordance with the rules. Now let us see in the same People's Representation Act, what is the rule for anybody to be enrolled as an elector? That is what we have to see. So when we see which the Election Commission itself has quoted in its detailed order, that is speaking order, I call it. In the speaking order, the Election Commission says that we are doing it under Rule 16 and Rule 19. You can read that. This whole order. Now I will read out the Rule 16. Now Rule 16 says disqualification for registration in the electoral rolls. It does not say, it does not spell out the qualification for registration. It qualifies the disqualification.
Hmm.
This one, in which is not a citizen of India. Now they say we will like to know whether one is a citizen of India or not. And especially 187 and all that, I will come to that. Unsound mind, will they seek a medical certificate from each that he is a sound mind? I may be a lunatic. Because you cannot partially implement it. You have to see all the three subclubs. Is if he is not a citizen of India, it is the commission has to prove that I am not a citizen of India.
Okay.
Is of unsound mind. It is the commission who is to prove that I say I am of sound mind, I am a doctor, I have a retired, or they say, no, 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 you have grown too oldie. Your brain has undergone senile changes. You are not with her. Do they get this certificate of senility from all the contestants? Even
No,
from the
and Dr. Garg, another very interesting thing, while you were just telling me this, there's another very interesting thing, and let me tell the viewers that the ECI has said that till July 26th, the BLOs, that is the booth level officers, will be required to visit every household with existing electors to get pre-filled forms signed and collect additional documentation if needed. So, which means BLOs will be making at least 3 attempts per household. This is what the election commission says. So is all this job of checking the people, how authentic they are, whether they are citizens of India, whether they are of senile or insenile mind, is all that work going to be done now by the BLOs?
This is what I am coming to that. I am coming to that. I am going to something else which this audit which you are reading. The election commission are entitled to do it.
Okay.
I will read out. They say the Rule 16 and Rule 19. 16 is for the disqualification.
Right.
19 is for the registration. Now, Rule 19 says, it says conditions for registration. Now, the conditions are subject to the foregoing provision in this part. Every person who is not less than 18 years of age on the qualifying date. This is first condition, that the person should be 18 years. He has to produce a proof that I am 18 years. 2, is ordinarily resident in a constituency. I am showing this for our viewers. Shall be entitled to be registered. Shall be, it is not will be. Shall be means it is not the sweet will of the BLO, it is not the sweet will of the district magistrate, district returning officer, or the returning officer for the Tahsil, the assembly elections. It is not the sweet will of the election commission.
Right.
It is my vested right to be registered as an elector if
No, but
I fulfill the condition.
Dr. Garg, why are the news websites, why are all the news platforms then saying that Article 324 1 of the Constitution gives ECI the power of superintendence, direction, and control of the preparation of the electoral rolls for the conduct of elections to parliament and state legislatures? This is what is being reported. And what you are saying is that Election Commission does not have the powers to go through an intense verification process like this. These are two different things you're talking about.
No, no. The way they are talking, I have read out that article, same article.
Yes.
Now the article say that it shall be, the rules shall be framed. Now, whatever the article is, the election commission does not draw the power directly. The the rules have to be framed. The rules are framed by the parliament, not by the election commission. The act has been framed. Act 1950, People's Representation of People's Act. 1950 has been framed on the powers conferred upon the President of India by Article 324 of the Constitution of India. So that act has to be changed then. That act has to be amended. That can be amended by the Parliament. Act as on today, enacted under Article 324 of the Constitution of India, is in position, not only in position, the Election Commission, even in this order of this June, 26 June, says that as per the BLO is to see as per Rule 16 and 19 of the 1950 Act. Now I have read out the 19 rule says, 16 rule says that what are the qualifications, disqualifications. But the 19 rule says what are the conditions for registration of a voter. Only two conditions. If I am 18 years old, if I am an ordinarily resident of India, of that place, I shall be registered. Nobody can say no. This rule says that. The rule has empowered me. Now, the only thing is that we try to see, we don't read the conjoint. We say, and I have won many cases in the High Court, in the Honorable Supreme Court also, we say the law has to be read conjointly. We have to read Article 324. We have to read People's Representation Act 1950. We have to read the Electors Registration Rules 1961. All three have to be read in one unison. We cannot say, I will read one clause, I will read second clause, I will read third clause. This is not the way. We cannot do it. Nobody can do it. Let the Government of India, that is the Parliament, let the Government of India, on the advice of ECI, bring out an act, amendment in the act, People's Representation Act, amendment in clause 19, that a person who shows these two things shall not be registered. Let them enter here, shall not be registered. It is shall be registered. It is their duty. They are not bestowing me anything. This is one. Two, there is another condition. I will read out.
So just allow me to interrupt you for 2 seconds. So which means so far, whatever you have explained, for the common man to understand, this intensive verification of the electoral rolls is illegal. It is not within the powers of the Election Commission to do it, but then also they are breaching that line.
Beautiful. Exactly. I say this. Exactly, I say this and say this with the responsibility, because unless until clause 19 of the People's Representation Act is amended,
they cannot do
that a person has to show his citizenship before he is registered. Right. He has to give a proof of citizenship. The clause 19 does not seek me to give a proof. The clause 19 seeks me to give only two things. One is that I am 18 years of age on that particular date. Date can be decided by the commission on a particular date. And for that also, There is a law, again law. Election Commission cannot decide. They say whosoever attains the voting age either on 1st of January or on 1st of April or on 1st of July or on 1st of October will be registered as a voter. So if I show that even before that I can apply, but I will be registered from that date. So I can apply in December if I am going to be 18 years in March. My date of birth is 23rd of March. So for 1st of January, I am not. But for 1st of April, I am eligible. So I will apply in the month of February or March to the Election Commission that look here, my date of birth is 23rd of March. I am attaining the age of 18 years by 1st of April. So my name be registered as the elector. So this lies with me also. So the Election Commission has no right to change the date, Election Commission has a right only, number one, to announce the date for election. And number two, say after announcement that which date will be the last date of nomination. And up to the date of nomination, it is automatically those who are registered are the voters.
No, but now that the Election Commission, Dr. Garg, is going to implement this exercise, and Mamata Banerjee has gone ahead and said that this is something which is more dangerous than the National Register of Citizens. Do you see this as a dangerous exercise for our democracy?
Not only dangerous, it is a murder of the democracy. I am using it with restraint. Why? Why do I say? Election Commission is a bureaucracy. Election Commission is executive. We are governed by our legislature. Now the power of the legislature is being usurped by the executive. That is what we say the murder of. They say the murder of
Constitution. You are saying that this is the basic flaw. The powers of the legislature here have been usurped by the executive, which is a fundamental flaw in this revision exercise. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. So now, is there a move now to weed out the genuine voters? Maybe they will try and weed out the names of those voters who will not vote in favor of BJP. Is that what the possibility could be? What the regional parties and the opposition parties have been saying, that a lot of genuine voters now will be left out because Bihar is a state which has a huge chunk of voters who do not have documents. And supposing if you do not have the documents, then what will happen? You will be out of the franchise list then.
You're right. We say in law, and we prove it, and the courts uphold it, that we have to see whose interest lies.
Yes.
If we say somebody has been murdered, I have used the word murder of democracy. So somebody has been murdered. By whom? Whose interest is there? She may not be apparently in front of us. So it is the interest of the ruling party. And all the BLOs are the government employees. Normally, because in these 10, 11 years, the government employees, usually earlier also, some of them used to be in favor of some party or in favor of other party. But now they are religiously in favor. They have been changed into a religious icons rather than citizens of India. Now, the 78% population of India is a Hindu population in one or the other way, whatever they call it. They may accept Jainis, they may demolish their temple, but still Jainis are the Hindus. Buddhists are the Hindus for them. All scheduled caste are the Hindus. So if 78% population, the mind of that population has been, I would say, blasted with this idea that look here, these minorities, they are taking away your rights, whether it is employment or it is your economy or your culture or your religion. Everything has been taken away.
You see this exercise, Dr. Garg, you see this exercise as some kind of a conspiracy, as what Mamata Banerjee, Tejasvi Yadav and several other opposition parties have pointed out. Do you see this as a conspiracy?
I do see. Otherwise, there is no need. At this moment, there is no need. The Election Commission has a mandate only to do a summary revision.
Right.
Because this is not the new Election Commission. The voter list has been framed since time immemorial. There is another flaw, legal flaw if one wants to see. Now they say those who were not voters in 2003, And those who are born before 187, we will verify their names, all those 11 documents, one of the 11 documents, they say. Now, if one is not in the list of 2003, one has not attained the age of 18. Two, one has not been registered by any dint of circumstances. These are only two reasons. But later on, one is registered and has voted in 2004, in 2009, in 2014, in
Yes.
2019, in 2024.
Hmm.
20 years I have been voting. Today they say we will try to verify.
Hmm.
It is I will say it is a BJP mindset. We will try to see which mandir is a temple, whether it was a masik, Harappa Mohenjo-daro Sabhyata. They try to dig the that.
Right. No, but like what Congress has said, Congress is saying that all is not well with India's electoral rolls, and this revision exercise is some kind of a cure which is worse than the disease. Do you agree with what Congress is saying?
No. Well, Congress may not say, still I say. I don't want to agree with somebody or disagree with somebody.
Okay.
I am an independent citizen. I say, even if the Congress does not say tomorrow, Congress and BJP internally join together, okay, we do it. And we deprive a certain section of the society from the voting rights. Say they, both of them join. Do you think I will agree to it? No. I am a citizen of India.
Hmm.
I have every right to say whether Congress
No, but
agrees or
then,
not, it is different.
Dr. Garg, it's very clear it's creating some kind of a chaos just before Bihar elections. And what is this chaos going to lead to? Are people going to, will the regional parties now go to the courts? Are we going to see an excessive litigation happening on this?
Yes, of course. This is one because the regional parties or even the main opposition party, they so-called, they don't go to the people. They only try to find the redressal through the courts,
Hmm.
and they are burdening the courts. I see it is a regional party, though they claim now we have become a national party. Our party, in their feud against the governor, His Highness, the Governor of Punjab, His Excellency, has always been going to the court. Instead of getting it resolved by bilateral talks or by some agitation and all, they have been going to the courts. So we are trying to burdening the courts because the executive is not doing its duty. Executive is doing something wrong. Now here also, the election commission, the duty of the election commission, why I am pained, why I am worried. The duty of the election commission is to conduct the fair and transparent election, impartial election, which election commission is not doing, is not responding, and stressing about the electoral rolls. Electoral rolls have been used in India. The maximum deletions and additions issue has been raised only in the last 4 or 5 years. It has never been raised before that. Maybe somebody has been deleted, somebody has been added, somebody is underage, still is a voter. These things do happen because it is such a huge exercise. We have a 97, 970, 970 million voters. 970 million voters have to be checked, done, and everything. It is a huge exercise. So for that huge
And this
exercise, when you
exercise
are
is not
conducting,
possible in 1 month's time. This
not at
exercise
all.
cannot happen.
Not at all, not at all. 60 million voters. How can they do it? So this is an impossible task, unnecessary task. This is not needed. This is हम एक पंजाबी में बोलते हैं say you that you start doing the things which are not required. हम बोलते हैं शादी में जो बीज बीज का लेखा डालना कि अब बीज खेत में बीज कैसे बोया है. So you don't need it. Now you are in a platform where you have to conduct the marriage, solemnize the marriage. So marriage is nothing but this election. The election commission has the sole responsibility now to conduct those elections in a fair and transparent manner, impartial manner, and to ensure every citizen of India, not every voter, not every elector, every citizen, because even a child is affected by our government policies. So we elect the government. So it is the duty, it is the bounden duty, it is the pious duty of the Election Commission of India to ensure. Why do I say? I will quote you one example for our listeners. Here, in MBBS admission test, the paper used to be the entrance test in the university, medical university of Punjab. The board of management and the vice chancellor, they were hand in glove for doing it. I was picked up as a registrar because the vice chancellor got caught, had been got caught. He had to be removed. Somebody else, this paper affair itself. When I went to the university as a registrar, first thing I made a promise with the authorities. Okay, I will talk to the highest authority. You will not interfere in my work. They said no. And they never interfered. Even the opposition did not interfere. I must say, nobody interfered. I took it as my duty that it is my duty to ensure to make the people believe, to raise their confidence that look here,
Yes.
whatever paper you solve, the same will be marked. There will be no hanky panky. There will be no breach of trust in the preparation of the paper. Here it is a paper. It is the preparation of the road. And there is a hanky panky. It is
So
apparently
typically,
exercise which cannot be carried out.
my last two questions, sir, is that this intensive revision of the electoral rolls is nothing but to distract the voters, to weed out the genuine voters, and to create chaos before elections. Are these three objectives in place? What you see is behind the
Yes, I agree.
intentions.
It will be, yes, I agree. This statement of yours, I agree. It will be a chaos. Not only chaos, it will be killing of our democracy because there will be a chaos. Nobody will be listen to. Who will go to them? I have seen these things in my government career. People don't listen to the Babu does not listen to you. You go on requesting, you go on saying there was no, come tomorrow, come tomorrow. So the whole chaos will be done. Why did our freedom fighters? No, none of them, this ruling party, none of them have given their head for this freedom. Our freedom fighters who enacted our constitution, the Constituent Assembly. You read Article 324. How was it introduced? What is the Constituent Assembly debates on this? So we see that we have our forefathers who spent their lives in jails, in prisons of the foreign government. They have enacted this constitution with the surety that each and every person, whether a male or a female, whether a literate or a illiterate, whether employed or unemployed, whether an agriculturist or a businessman, whether rich or poor, whether a ruralite or a urbanite, whether an Adivasi, a Banavasi, or living in a main area, whether in Andaman Nicobar or in mainland Ratnagiri. So our forefathers, there was a lot of discussion on this. Okay, look here, people don't know how will they vote, how will they do, they are illiterate, they do not know what is voting. They said, no, nothing doing. Our democracy will survive only if we believe in our people. So here, the law says that I have to fulfill only two conditions. The Election Commission is no authority to change it unless until the Parliament of India changes it. So Election Commission has to implement it as
So
it is.
basically, Election Commission does not have the powers to revise the electoral rolls in this manner.
No,
And
yes, no,
and also what you said was that the executive is trying to usurp the powers of the legislature, and which is why
yes,
this
yes.
entire process of verifying the electoral rolls or revising the electoral rolls is completely farce and undemocratic.
Yes, definitely. It is undemocratic. It is injurious to our democracy. One thing more, I will only one line I say. There is a condition. Now, if I give a wrong information as an elector, I want to get myself registered as a voter or want to get your name deleted, I am liable for action for a wrong statement. But the commission has no right to do it. The commission has to believe me unless until the commission gets a complaint. Once the commission gets a complaint that, look here, this person is not 18 years. This person is not residing here. This person has already died. The vote is there. So the election commission has a right to act only when it gets a complaint. Cannot do it suo moto. Suo moto is
Right.
only the revision, summary revision.
Right.
That is why it is called a summary revision.
So basically, now the only option left, Dr. Garg, it seems, is to go to the courts to stop this.
Yes. Right now it is only, but the action in the court should be supported by the action on the roads.
Right.
The people should come to the roads. It is not only Mamata Banerjee or Akhilesh Yadav or Rahul Gandhi or Ladu Prasad Yadav or Nitish Kumar ji or Uddhav Thackeray ji, nothing doing. It is the right of Indian citizen, as you are doing it. I am doing it. I am doing it. So many, we are holding seminars and all that.
True.
Racha ji is doing it. So we have to go to the roads also, that no, this cannot be done. We cannot allow 2-3 people who have been appointed under the Constitution of India, right or wrong, we cannot allow them to play with the democracy of the country. We cannot allow.
All right. All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining on HW News. Thank you. Thank you, sir.